swing, swing, not today. Swing, swing. Hi, Mama.
Hey everybody, it's Sabrina here. I am very excited. I ordered an Amazon package recently and it just came in today. So I have a separate video that I am making where I am going to review these sandals. You can look for that. I don't know, I guess I'll drop a link below if I've already uploaded it. But this video is going to be on these foot pads. I have now seen a whole bunch of stuff on the foot pads, a bunch of people claiming that they are phenomenal and they do everything they say that they do, and a bunch of people saying they are a farce, they don't waste your money, they're just a waste, they don't actually do anything that they claim. Now, I have used foot pads in the past, not this brand, I don't know what brand it was. It has been many years, as in, I think I only had my 2 kids, or maybe even only 1 kid when I used them. But I've been having issues with my circulation lately. I've been having issues with my joints, specifically my knees. I've been having a lot of knee pain lately, which has been related to my hormone changes, and I'm fairly certain that that is a big part of it. I looked into these and I'd seen a bunch of people saying that it has helped with their joints, it has helped with their sleep. I don't sleep well, always had issues with sleep. And so I decided I'm going to do an experiment and I'm going to buy these. This says that it contains 120 pieces, so enough for 60 nights. So I'm thinking my husband and I are going to both use these. I want to weigh them before we use them. I want to weigh them after we've used them, because I want to see if there is actually going to be a change in what is in the actual foot pad. Because yeah, a lot of people were saying they were changing color because of sweat. They got wet, they changed color, which is what I have always said too. Different brands, some of them, I don't know, this one I've been reading on this one and it doesn't seem to say that it actually draws the toxins out of your feet, but there were a bunch of companies where their pads were saying that it draws toxins out of your feet. I will read to you what this one says. This one says it contains all natural plant ingredients to elevate your sense of well-being, all natural, enhance metabolism, improve sleep quality, relief from pain, aches, and stress. I love that. If it actually works, fantastic. This would be fantastic. The main ingredient of the foot patch is bamboo vinegar powder, which was distilled by using modern high technology. Foot pads, when used on a regular basis, might help prevent toxins from accumulating in the body. Bamboo vinegar extract cell is tiny but has high penetration. It can remove toxins that enter and clog our digestive systems. Okay, so ingredients are bamboo vinegar, tourmaline, chitin? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Vitamin C, plant fibers, anion powder, and dextrin. So I am going to attempt to use this with my husband, the both of us. These sold on Amazon for $40 Canadian. So I was pretty happy. So there's a few things I'm going to be testing with these. First, I want to see if they actually stay on your feet at night. Second, I want to see if the weight of them changes from wearing them, like before I put them on to after I've worn them all night. I want to see, third, if there's a difference in what they look like from when I have worn them to when my husband has worn them. That's 3 things. The last thing I want to check is I want to see if the metabolism thing actually works, in the sense that I'm going to weigh myself today. My husband is going to weigh himself today. We're going to start these tonight, but we've both been pretty steady in our weight. We don't fluctuate a whole lot. And I want to see if after doing, I'm going to do for 2 weeks of these and test and see what our weight is then, and check and see if it actually has made a difference. I don't really expect it to, I'll be honest. I'm not expecting a whole lot from these. The one thing that I really am hoping for is that that this might help with my knees. I'm not sure how long I'm going to do this for. I've got enough for 30 days for the both of us, but my husband is not too keen on doing this. He doesn't like the idea of wearing foot patches at night, which I understand. He sleeps through everything, so I don't think it's going to affect his sleep too much. I know I'm going to probably be uncomfortable with wearing things on my feet for bed, so that might actually affect my sleep negatively at first because of that. We'll see. There will probably be a difference in how they look. I'm going to say now, my husband's will probably be a lot darker than mine because my husband creates more moisture while he sleeps than I do. And I know this for a fact. So I'm thinking his will probably have more going on with them than mine will. That said, we'll see if it makes much difference in the long run. On here, I'm actually weighing each one separately because there may be a discrepancy inside the packets as to how much weight is in each. So I'm weighing each one separately to make sure I get the correct weight. So here's the before and here's the after, and we'll see if there's actually a difference. I'm going to do grams just because I like grams better. Is going to be for my husband. Okay, 4 grams. Yep, 4 grams again. Oh, so this one's 5. All right, it's morning. Let's see what these look like. Okay, this actually is different from what I was expecting. So they're actually kind of solid. That I was expecting. But they're actually darker than I was expecting. Alright, so I'm going to start off with my husband's left one again. This is now 5 grams. Now his right one is 5 grams. Is 5 grams. Is 5 grams. Since my right one was 5 grams when it started, it didn't gain anything. But now they're all 5 grams. So, and these are dry. They are not wet. My husband actually has had his off now a couple hours. He gets up at 5:30 in the morning. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to take this video first thing in the morning before I forget. First night. I'm not going to do this every night. I will probably do again in about 3 or 4 nights. I don't know exactly. But last night I did not sleep well. Not at all. I was tossing and turning a lot. Part of it's because there's something on my feet. I already don't sleep well. If there's any difference of anything, I don't sleep well. Another part of it is because we had a windstorm last night, so I was worried about things outside because I haven't put everything away for winter yet. So I kept getting up to check. Another thing that I noticed that was different, I was actually expecting my husband's foot pads to be blacker than mine because he sweats a lot more than me at night. And it was actually the opposite, which I found interesting. So I don't know, that's different than I was expecting. Another difference that I noticed was, this is going to sound a little gross, but when I woke up this morning, I actually had little clumps of something in my mouth. Okay, I brushed my teeth last night. So there shouldn't have been anything in my mouth. And I used to get this a lot as a teenager. So it was like a buildup that I would get it felt like it was like a buildup of plaque. I know there's another name for it. I don't know what it is, but it was like just a buildup of something in my mouth. And they were just like little bits of rice is what they looked like. I don't know what it is. But that went away when I became an adult. Like it went away. But yeah, I noticed those in my mouth. Oh, excuse me. This morning I had to go rinse my mouth out because it was just gross. Oh, another thing. When I was wearing them, where the spot where the actual tea bag was, I'm calling it a tea bag. It's not a tea bag, but that's what I'm calling it. Where the actual patch itself was on my foot, it actually felt like it was having a slight tingling feeling, like more blood flow. I don't even know how to describe it. Just a light tingling, and it felt different where the sticky part was. Like, because I could say, well, maybe it's because there was something on my foot, but it actually felt slightly different there than it did where the sticky pad was. The sticky pad just felt like there was something on my foot, but where the actual teabaggy, the foot pad itself was on my foot, I actually felt different there, which is weird. So I don't know. There might be some truth to these things and how they work, but not that they're like pulling things out through your feet. These things are already like coming off of my foot. Last night, for some reason, they didn't want to stay. Right, so I haven't really been changing any other things I've been doing. My voice sounds really bad because it's morning. I just barely got up. This last night was my third night with them. My husband had them. They're not really changing the way that they look, which is pretty much what I expected. I'm not expecting the pads to change much. What I was hoping for is some changes in how we feel. First night is the only night that I really noticed anything different for me, and that was the little rice-like particles in my mouth that I haven't had since I was in high school. But I haven't had those since. My husband hasn't noticed anything different for himself. Last night he did not snore, so that's a plus. But I need to see a lot of nights in a row of him not snoring, so we'll see if that continues. Because he does quite often have a night here and there where he's not snoring. So I'm not necessarily chalking that up to those foot pads yet. If we have a number of nights in a row where he's not snoring, then I will maybe think that that has something to do with it. But right now, not really. Me personally, I have not been having good night's sleeps. I was hearing from a lot of people, seeing from a lot of people that these things would help you have a restful night's sleep, and I have not been having that, probably because there's something on my foot and there normally isn't something on my foot, and I am extremely sensitive, so that's probably the main reason for me. But I don't know, my knees still hurt just as much as before. I haven't noticed any change in my joints, aching or not. My wrists still hurt. I'm wondering if I should tonight take and put one, just to try one knee and put one underneath the knee. I don't know, like, you know, like the knee pit. It's not a knee pit. You know what I mean? I don't know what to call it. It's like the armpit for the knee. So I'm thinking of trying that and seeing if that does anything. I don't really believe these things work the way a lot of people think they do, in the sense that they actually suck toxins out. But I want to believe that they produce an effect in the body that allows your body to more effectively get rid of toxins. Like, I want to believe that they will help my joints. I'm an optimistic person, even though there's a big part of me that's like, how? Like, how do they even do that? Right now, I'm really not feeling that it's doing anything besides sticking to my feet at night and my husband's feet at night. And then in the morning, we're rubbing our feet because we're washing the feet off every morning from the stuff that's sitting on there. And rubbing your feet every morning is probably a really good thing to do because it's relaxing. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll see if having this over a longer period of time does anything, because most of the things that I've seen people doing them for either 3 days or 5 days. I haven't really seen people doing it for longer. So I'm going to try doing it for longer. I may take a break for day, like my 6th day, because I've heard a lot of people say doing it for so long in a row may not be good. So I might take a break. I still figure that the price that we paid for the amount of time we have with these things, I think this is a really good price if they do anything. If they don't do anything, it's not worth it, but at least I have the chance to figure out if it is or not. So that's the under the knee. That did like nothing. That was my 4th night. I decided to try putting one under my knee, and as of right now, I don't really feel any difference, although my left knee was hurting more than my right knee yesterday, like by quite a lot, as in I was actually having trouble climbing up and down stairs, and it's not hurting as much as that. Could it be from those things? I really don't know. It could be that it just needed rest. Okay, so tonight I've decided I'm going to go extra, and I'm putting 3 days worth on one foot and 3 days worth on the other foot. And I figure maybe it'll map out my foot, sort of, to see where I sweat on the foot the most. I am guessing for sure this is going to be the darkest one, because I really can't see anything happening by all the calluses on the heel and by the toes. But we'll see. Oh, wow. Last night I wore socks for the night, and obviously my feet sweat a lot more. That is insane. My husband as well had more on his than last night than usual. Now last night before bed, because it was Friday, I decided to do my foot soak again, also to help get rid of any calluses on my feet as well. That way it might be more effective too. So yeah, that's crazy. That is a lot. So I took 2 days off. Wow. I was not expecting to really see anything on the heel. I have not really felt like these things have been doing anything though. Like my sleep doesn't feel like it's been affected positively or negatively, besides having socks on my feet being annoying. My knees are still hurting. Wow. That is dark. I have never seen them this dark. And then my husband's as well. See, I put them on last night at close to midnight for the both of us. It was 11:30-ish, I think. And then my husband didn't have to work this morning, so he actually kept his on till 7 instead of 5. So he actually got the full 6 to 8 hours with them like he was supposed to, which he hasn't yet. So that explains his actually being dark. In mine, I'm guessing it's because I was wearing the socks. I apologize. This video is being taken months later. I have all my information and everything from these foot pads, and I've taken time off from them. I tried using them again weeks later. So my final thoughts, they really don't do much, if anything. I did find that when I had them on my heels, they did seem to soften the skin, the hardened skin that was on my heels. So they do that. I did not find that I got a better sleep. My knees did not change. I have not used them now for months, and my knees started getting better on their own. I found out later that one of the big issues that I was having with my joints was because I had weaned my baby in around November, which is actually when I started using the foot pads. When you're doing that, your hormone levels all change, and so my hormones were actually affecting my joints. I did not know this because I hadn't had this really before. So my knees are better now, but not because of those foot pads. They didn't do anything. I didn't notice a difference in my husband, in his sleep patterns or anything. I don't know if it helped with his snoring, because I don't remember it making any difference. I just remember that my husband said too, he didn't notice any difference. He was not wearing them for the full time that he should have been. Usually you're supposed to wear from 6 to 8 hours is what they say on there. Longer is better. He would generally only have them on for 5 hours, 4 hours, maybe 5 hours, because I was putting them on his feet around midnight. He had already fallen asleep when I put them on his feet. He sleeps through everything. But there were, I believe I said 3 things that I was looking at. One was change in the weight. They went from 4 grams, well, 3 out of 4 were 4 grams when we started, 1 was 5. All of them were 5 grams at the end. That is such a small increase in weight. Once again, I only have it by gram. I don't have point grams. I can't really look at like exact numbers. And that 1 gram very easily could have been that there might have still been some moisture in the foot pads without me having felt it. There also may have been some skin cells or whatever that came off of the foot pad. We washed our feet before putting them on, but you know, there's still something could have come. The stickiness of the adhesive could have stuck to something on our skin that would have adhered to it. Because during the night, it wasn't always adhered to your foot exactly. There might be some lint that would have ended up on their hair, whatever. That said, there was also residue left on our feet at night. So there's a bit of a give and take. Does that mean anything? I don't have enough scientific evidence to conclude one way or another that anything is actually being drawn out of your feet besides moisture. What was the second thing? If it made any difference in our sleep, it did not. Really, it did not. Once I got used to them being on my feet, I had relatively normal nights. I did notice that I had more energy in the mornings, even though my sleep was not as good. And I do think that that was because I was rubbing my feet in the morning. So maybe rubbing your feet in the morning is one way to boost your energy. I don't know. Maybe they do actually promote some kind of a lymphatic drainage or something because the bamboo vinegar does something. I don't know. There wasn't a substantial enough difference to really make me go, oh yeah, these were worth the buy. Not really. Plus, wearing them at night, it's weird. Unless you're used to wearing socks on your feet at night or having something on your feet at night, your mind is also focused on, there's something on my foot. Maybe you're like my husband and you can sleep through it anyway and that's no big deal, but then you're not going to be looking into these as a sleep aid. So yeah, they didn't really do anything. Oh, the weight, the metabolism. We did this over a course of 2 weeks. We had some breaks in between. My husband did not go longer than that. I forgot some days, and like especially after the first week, I was just kind of like, I'm not feeling like putting these things on. My husband was not interested in having them on his feet at all. He would groan every time I started pulling them out. He was like, really have to put them on my feet. But we weighed ourselves after the 2 week period. In our case, it was more like 3 or 4 weeks. It was near like the end of November. We finally weighed ourselves. And we actually did not lose anything. So, and that's another thing. It was not a substantial enough. It may have increased our metabolism, but it was not a substantial enough change. We actually went up slightly in weight. Both of us did, just slightly, like not like half a pound, maybe, over about a month. And the thing is, it could be because of the time of day that we took and weighed ourselves. Because I only did do weighing the one time before bed, and then the other time it was not like right before bed. It may have been like because we just ate supper. So there wasn't a substantial enough difference to really go, oh yeah, this made a change. I don't think they do anything. And they do soften your skin. I did honestly notice that my skin on my feet was softer on my heels, especially when I did the night where I had it through on my whole foot. Because otherwise I had it in the middle of my foot, and that area doesn't need to have skin softened. It's by my toes and my heels. So you want to put them on your toes and your heels, soften the skin on the bottom of your feet. Great. It's not a very effective way of doing it. Honestly, I'd rather do a foot soak to soften the skin on my feet, or a nice foot cream that smells better. My final conclusion on these is that I don't think that they are effective. Am I glad I did it? Yes. Yes, I am. I am glad I did it. I've often wondered. I've seen other people do it, and I have seen such opposing views on these things. So yeah, I'm glad I did it. I am sorry that I did not edit all this video months sooner. Honestly, I hate editing videos. It's a lot of work. I spend hours doing it, and I'm constantly being interrupted. I don't really feel like doing it in the evenings. I would rather go for a walk. So I am making a video right now. I am hopefully gonna finish editing this video because this is mid-March. I'm in mid-March. We finished using the foot pads end of November, and I'm in mid-March right now. So yeah, I don't like editing videos. Anyways, yeah, thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you all have a blessed day.